Welcome, SpeedGaming. Welcome back to the Metroid Prime Randomizer Tournament 2023 Top 8 match. Today we have TheGingerChris versus BajaBlood. This is the final match of the best of 3 series. We have TGC with 1 point and BajaBlood with 1 point. Whoever wins will be the winner of this match. I am joined by my co-commentator, Dunkathan Salt. Say hello.
Pleasure to be here. This is quite the interesting match we've got going on.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about runners.
Do I understand correctly that this is the first Game 3 in Top 8 so far?
Yes. Every other Top 8 match has been at 2-0.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting, I think. The way this series went, Game 1 was TGC's choice of preset, picked week 5, Baja won. Game 2 was Baja's choice of preset, picked week 2, TGC won. So They've won on both of each other's picks, and now we're in a random preset into week 4. Fighting chance, starting in Fendrana's Drifts. That can only mean mean one thing.
No way. Unfortunately, they did start with Wave Beam, so we will not have Wave on Thardus. That was a theory by our very own Bra Incorporated in the booth before the thing went up. Yeah, by the way, shoutouts Bra Incorporated and SSJ4 Warrior for being on tracking today.
I cannot imagine doing this without having trackers, so shoutouts to those guys for sure. So the way that this preset was decided was randomly. The tournament organizers rolled a die and chose from the remaining presets that were not chosen for the race here.
Mm-hmm. Both of them are attempting the Ruined Courtyard thing. Didn't get it. That could possibly be a point in overturn if Ruined Courtyard actually is something. I do believe that is actually a logical trick.
That unmorph?
Yeah, that unmorph.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so when you unmorph, it'll kill your momentum, which will give you give you some leeway to get in
bombs.
Okay, bombs and shorelines, but TGC is going to be a little bit late to that. He's going straight for Ice Ruins East.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting start. We start at Thardus, yet neither runner has decided to fight him yet.
I'm a little disappointed, I'll be honest.
This is probably going to end up the same way with that Arrow versus Jeff. They forced a start at OP. Yet it didn't require them to fight it at all, because you could just turn around and go through lower mines backwards.
That's such a shame.
Later, they did have to come back to actually get to PPC from OP, but OP himself did not have anything important. This is going to probably be the same type of situation.
Wow. We can at least dream.
Maybe in the next Randomania update, we can actually have the entrance to Quarantine Cave be in the Thardus fight trigger. We actually start on Thardus. Required fight.
That might be that might be troublesome, but we'll find out.
Maybe.
Somebody in chat asking, what are the RAs? My understanding is that there are no RAs in this match.
Yes, there are no RAs.
This is simply plain and simple week 4.
And at this point, it's pretty much actually just odd weekly, because that's pretty much what the seed devolves to after the boss fight is done.
Chat asking whether Thardus would be in Logic without Thermal. Do the bombs put him in Logic?
As of 6.1.0, I think that was added in the Logic database.
I see.
I don't know what version this was gemmed on, so jury's still out if that's actually in Logic.
Okay, fair enough. I would expect it to still be 6.0.
Okay. In that case, yes, we still need Thermal.
Gotcha. Alright, well, fairly simple start so far. We're going through finding base jump boots here in Magmore. I doubt it'll be far behind, so long as the energy doesn't prove problematic, which both of them have had a couple scares.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no energy in Magmore can be really rough if you want to go fast. Thankfully, we do have Varia, which gives us some
Wow.
damage.
They'd have bigger problems if they were here with one E-Tank and no
That
Varia.
is true. No, surely they can get through Magmar. No E.
Look, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if somebody can do that, but I would be very impressed.
The farthest I've seen a heat run is Justin DM's video on getting the item in Lava Lake with no E's. And even then he said that is like entirely luck-based.
Wow, well, we're seeing a valid seed this early on. Off to a
Nice.
good start.
It's a blessing.
Flamethrower in Magmore is perfectly appropriate. Lots of flamethrowers around here.
Okay, so from here, we do have vanilla elevators, so this will lead to Chozo.
And then from Chozo, I mean, the world's your oyster.
Yeah, but it seems that TGC is actually going to take Twin Fires and
Oh,
go to Talon.
I mean, might as well. Ah, good. It pays off finding grapple.
You need that. Although, TGC does not have space jump from the looks of it.
Not yet.
No. So, he's going to miss out a little bit on that. Jeff, they started at Thardis, but of course, they started with Wave, and so they just turned around and head to Magmar. So, I think was that actually the first Thardis fight ever for the Week 4 preset in this tournament?
Gosh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I definitely recall hearing that most of Week 4 started in Chozo, unless specifically contrived to accomplish otherwise.
There were some interesting starts. There was, I think the most interesting that wasn't forced was actually, I believe, an elite control start.
Right, I do remember hearing about that.
I believe that was Deagle's race. It was either elite control or elite research. So,
okay, well, finding supers here in Alcove, that's not too bad of a reward. There are definitely worse things you could find there. So even without space jump... But I suppose the grapple actually means he can go get this in Frigate Crash Site, right?
Yeah, that does put that into light.
Imagine the grapple actually being useful.
Possible. Does he use it, though? No. He's going to attempt to scan dash it. And gets it. For nothing.
Ah! Wonderful. Paying off. But we'll get hints first, at least, so we'll see whether that proves advantageous with the routing later.
I want to see an actual artifact on Thardis. I think that'd be funny.
It'd certainly be appropriate.
I wonder if we don't get an artifact or anything on Thardis. I wonder how long the runners will be willing to put him off before they actually fight him.
Forever. You know they'll put him off forever.
Thardis is, in fact, slow. Well, there's X-ray.
Okay. Did we see if Baja checked the tree?
I do not think so. He probably, if he remembers, he might with that newly acquired X-ray.
Mm-hmm. Nice big load for the Artifact Temple there, and we're seeing TGC coming in to check hints.
Hey, early power bomb for TGC. Awesome.
Yep. What are we going to have in Tower of Light?
Obviously, it's going to be Tower of the Progression.
It could well be. I mean, starting with Wave, finding space jump so early, it definitely invites Tower of Light.
Fungal Hall Access, Elder Chamber, Chozo Ice Temple, Elite
Quarters,
Quarters, Phase on Mining Tunnel,
Oh man,
and Main Quarry. Okay,
heavy
that
on the mines.
PMT is like the one check you don't want to see.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boost here in Tower of Light. What's in Tower Chamber?
Come on, Progression Chamber. Okay,
Yeah,
early PB for Baja as well.
This makes sense. Is that slope jump in logic without gravity?
I believe as of 6.0, that is logical now. Don't quote me on that. I know that that was a topic of discussion in recent times. But for some reason, oddly enough, the slope jump in Watery Hall, NSJ, I believe, or not NSJ, is logical with SJ. But the Tower Chamber slope jump is not. And I believe there was talk about turning that down to beginner, but I do not know when that is.
Gotcha. Well, we're seeing lots of stuff here in Chozo, and that space jump in Magmore, of course. What's that in the tree?
Was that a beam?
I could not tell.
I think that was Ice Beam.
Okay, well that makes the supers pretty handy for TGC to have coming into Chozo.
Yeah, he will. If he remembers to get the tree, he will most likely, get everything first pass. That might make up for that fumbled SJ.
Yeah, if that really is ice.
Although that may just deter him from never actually going back to Magmore.
Mm. There's one thing to leave behind. I noticed him not firing a super missile at the tree there.
He might just want to do the Hive Totem loop before getting to it.
Mm-hmm. Bro thinks it was a missile? Okay. Yeah, I could not make it out whatsoever.
Yeah, Baja got a really awkward angle at that, so he probably knows. We are left to our own devices.
So when do you suppose TGC turns around and finds that space jump?
He is coming up on Lava Lake real soon, so he actually, if he goes down there, he'll find it relatively quickly. But Chozo probably seems like a better play.
Right. And I mean, it's not like there's nothing here. Although, oh, you can't get that boost ball with that space jump, can you?
Oh yeah, that's true. So,
Yuck. Well, I certainly hope for his sake that he goes and finds that, because what a thing to orphan.
But I think TGC can make do. I've seen he's quite a skilled Prime player. Meanwhile, Baja will be also obtaining hints and receiving the bad news. And wouldn't have it any other way for orange versus green, am I right?
So, between Omega Pirate and PMT, which room is orange and which room is green? Vote now on your phones, chat.
That's actually not a bad idea. I don't know. They both kind of don't scream either green or orange, to be honest. There's just so much blue everywhere.
My take is that Omega Pirate is orange because supers are good against him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
And then...
So it was just a missile.
Okay.
They're not going to make up any time from that.
So where does TGC go from here?
I've got to say, he really makes this NSJ movement look effortless.
Yeah, NSJ movement is actually quite optimized. There's a whole run speedrun dedicated to not using it,
Mm-hmm.
which is terrible. I don't recommend anyone ever do it. There's only like what 5 actual completed runs. You just have to do some cursed bomb jumps instead of space jump, which is terrible.
Ooh, what's this?
Ooh, a shiny. Well, not a shiny, but
Ah.
graph. Okay.
Well, not bad. Definitely not the one you want.
There's the logical missile launcher, training chamber access, and main PBs in training chamber.
Skipping that, but knowing
That's kind of good, honestly. Knowing that PBs are spider locked is
that will definitely influence your routing. Because even if you never go back to get that, you know, okay, that's when it's going to be in logic to do PB stuff.
Yeah. If you don't have mains required, I definitely say that main PBs were probably like the best item to see in training chamber if it had to be.
Yeah, you've already got an expansion.
Alright, with this SJ in hand, or I guess in foot, Baja will be able to get Root Cave and Arbor Chamber first pass. Did we see the plasma actually come into play yet?
Yes, bombs.
That's right. Look at me, I'm so simple-minded. Can't even remember something that happened 10 minutes ago.
Okay, Metroid in the top of there, so...
Alright, so from here, Baja will make his way back to Fen, I believe.
Okay.
He might also want to do some other stuff in Magmar. I do not believe we've seen. Shore Tunnel. TGC is also doing Watery Wing, as we like to call it, or as I have just now named.
You could tell me that we like to call things something, and I would just have to believe you.
It's just like Prime gaslighting you. Wouldn't even matter because Echo's better, right?
Got a good point there. Looks like we're making our way up. He goes and fights our good friend.
Yeah, Zoid Kirsch in the flesh.
One and only. Looks
like
he does not.
Okay, unfortunate.
Fair enough. I hope that this means he's planning to head back to Magmor. Safe work is promising.
There's a lot of things that UGC could do in Fendrana, but he probably would need Space Gem for it.
Yeah. Well,
Still?
I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't, but...
I guess there isn't... Logically, I don't think there's much stuff we can still do NSJ.
Yeah.
Can we start labs? Or, okay, we're going to see another attempt at the Rune Courtyard.
But...
Right.
Well...
You know, honestly, I haven't seen it done this way. I've seen it done inversely, where you unmorph and then morph to kill your inertia. Never seen it done the opposite way like that.
I mean, the unmorph makes sense, because you get that little roll forward when you're doing it.
Mm.
And Baja just continuing to make good progress. Still no supers, but otherwise has a pretty clear advantage having space jump and boost ball. Heading into Visualize Temple here. You can just get this right now, right?
Yeah. We do. We have plasma, bombs, and wave, so we can clear out this whole area first pass.
Nice. Pretty convenient there.
Yeah, this will nab us, I believe, our first artifact.
Yep. We've got a couple vanilla artifacts this seed.
That is 10 artifacts that Baja had there for a second. Unfortunately.
Oh, Baja does have supers. Yes, they were in Alcove.
Don't worry, bro. It's all good.
Baja picking up his 10th artifact there in Chozo Ice Temple.
Is the artifact of Sun actually the 10th artifact in vanilla?
I'm not equipped to answer that question.
I used to know.
Sun is 7th. Told.
World, okay. That makes sense. Good on you for knowing that, actually. I think no one actually really pays attention to that anymore.
Well, we're back in Magmoor on TGC's side.
Okay, so hopefully he most likely will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the unfortunate thing is that this does kind of orphan that boost ball.
Yeah, but with the rep that Tower of Light has gathered, I wouldn't see.
Right.
I guess it wouldn't be unlikely that TGC just throws a Hail Mary for it and gets rewarded.
That makes sense, yeah. And I mean, there will be more reasons to check Chozo in the future, so.
So at this point, we are going to either have to come up on, I believe, Ice or Thermal Visor here soon. Because we have no mines access without Ice.
There he goes.
Main quarry is an artifact. We logically need Thermal to get through Frigate. And we need Spider to get those main PBs to logically enter from the back. So I guess we could also see Spider up here soon.
Maybe chat's dreams will come true, and it is Vanilla Spider.
If it's Vanilla Spider, that would be funny.
I don't anticipate them finding Vanilla Spider just yet. That's for sure.
Yeah, we still have labs to do. That is honestly a better play, IMO. We do still have Zoid and Flagra though.
Yes.
But they're bosses and they're slow, so we don't do them.
Suppose there aren't that many things left that we even need. You know, finding X-ray early on is phenomenal. Obviously, we need a couple things more, but the big question is going to be Phazon Suit, because they can't even get the hint for it.
That is true. Yeah, with the PMT artifact, we need Phazon Suit, or if they're lucky, enough ease to actually get it.
That'd be remarkable. How much energy do you need to do PMT without Phazon?
So, a feasible amount of E-tanks is around 12 to 13. So, one off of the max amount of E-tanks in the seed. I believe the record is 9 by DF.
That's terrifying.
Task can get it done in 8, which is still a lot. So it's very unlikely we see that happen. But if by some miracle that actually becomes feasible,
that would certainly be something else.
That would just be the cherry on top of the orange versus green duel.
Well, TGC coming this way in Chozo. Do you think he's beelining it to Tower of Light?
Could be. I mean, that is 2 checks, as well as the half pipe in Rune Shrine, which he didn't get.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, gravity does make the damage reduction a little bit easier. So 11 is a more feasible amount if you have both suits, which TGC does, and Baja might find.
All right. Well, with TGC coming and grabbing this boost ball, the advantage, while still clearly present, isn't nearly as frightening. There are a lot of opportunities for TGC to make this back, especially with the great variable that is Phazon suit.
You won't gain any advantages in Chozo, I don't think, because he doesn't have anything over Baja at the moment to make any bonus checks that Baja didn't. I guess he could make a Hail Mary play and fight either Flagra or Zoid, and they could potentially have something. But
True. I mean, this wouldn't be the worst time to make a play like that. I'm sure TGC is feeling as if he's behind finding Space Jump and Boost where he did. I'm sure he expects that Baja found them first. So he might be in the mindset to be making a gamble, but hard to say.
I think a really good gamble would to be just go through Frigate right now and just bet that Thermal is next up in progression, and maybe we somehow find Ice. Oh wait, never mind. You need Ice to get through Frigate. I always forget that.
That would be problematic, yeah.
So yeah, at this point, I think Ice has to be here in Fen or on a Chozo boss.
All right, hear me out. It's Vanilla Spider, and Ice is on Ghosts.
I'll think about that. Nope. How about right here?
All right, that works too.
Ice Beam in Labs.
So Baja with every beam. Do we actually need Spider Wall?
I think logically to get past MQA we need it.
But do these runners need it?
I do not believe so. The biggest thing that would probably be if we come in from TPC, we might probably want Spider to get to Upper Mines. I do not know if either runner honestly knows how to do Spiderless Chefs. Well, actually, there's Spider right there in Lab Aether. Awesome.
So the hunt is on. Where is Phazon?
Okay, so
I'm
at
sure
this point,
yeah,
we have all our beams. We can get everywhere now.
I'm sure it won't take long for TGC to find Ice, find Spider. You know, Labs isn't some niche play here.
Yeah, Labs is kind of... It's either Labs or it's on a boss, and I'm pretty sure TGC doesn't want to fight a boss, so we're probably going to do Labs.
Yeah.
That Baja will be making the play to just full clear Farfen, and then probably make his way to Mines.
So certainly Baja's got a lead right now. That's undeniable, but the Phazon suit can make or break this.
Yeah, Baja does not have info on the Grav or the main PBs.
Oh,
so
that's true.
That could, on a very slight chance, give TGC an edge.
Yeah, it might influence the routing. Because Baja doesn't know that PBs are in logic yet.
Yeah, but at this point, he has 3 already, so he probably doesn't care.
For sure. I have heard that Baja likes to follow, or at least be informed by, logic chains. So perhaps not knowing that PBs are in logic does have that impact. I suppose we'll just have to find out.
Yeah. TG, or not TG, Baja is a big stats guy, I know, so he makes a lot of educated guesses, and they more than likely pay off. Got him all the way up here to top 8. So.
Yeah. You know, I am noticing one pretty substantial advantage for TGC in this race. The outlines on both racers' sides of the stream layout are orange.
That's true. Yeah, orange is on his side today.
Yeah, that could be a major determining factor in this race, I think.
What do you guys think, chat? How much better is orange over green? Or maybe you're actually
that is a leading question there, Schwartz.
or maybe you're team green and want to go against the curve, I guess. I don't know. What is the collective unconscious's opinion on orange or green?
Seen a couple oranges in chat. Steph yesterday, notably the developer of Blank Dev Game.
Oh,
he's an orange stan.
The mythical Blank Dev Game in the Randomania dev builds.
Yes.
Which has multi-world support, by the way.
Real ones know Blank Dev Game. Okay. We're seeing a decent bit of green supporter as well. TGC also picking up his 10th artifact.
So, yeah, TGC just kind of has to play.
11th!
Yo!
Oh my. The advantage.
Thank you for that. So, speaking of artifacts, are all of them now just in mines, or was there anything else? Elder Chamber, okay, is our in Chozo, which is not that far from mines. We have boosts, so it should be fine.
But yeah, aside from Elder Chamber, they are all mines. And, in fact, main quarry is upper mines, but everything else is rather low.
Honestly, Fart Chozo actually doesn't seem like a bad idea at this point. That gets us a few checks. Could use Zoid on the way. That'll maybe a potential Phazon suit. Then get that artifact. Then route through Life Grove, and then start mines.
And I mean, from Fartoza, you can full clear all of the elders. That's several checks. Nice having all the beams when you're going through there the first time, so maybe we'll see that. TGC heading into mines, so again, reasonably far behind, but it's all going to come down to Phazon. He's going to find his spider, he's going to find his ice. Ooh, rare flavor of nothing there. Does anybody have the nothing decks handy?
I can pull that up right now. Thank you for whoever made the better URL for the nothing decks. It is tiny.url.
For anyone in chat who's unfamiliar, the Nothing Dex is a wonderful, wonderful repository of all known appearances for the Nothing item. It goes into great detail about it, and it even assigns rarities to them, so worth checking out.
Let me see if I can pull up. Let me pull up the log on that one real quick.
Honestly, SSJ4, I've been thinking about that. What if Phazon is on Thardes?
I was thinking that too, actually. That would be really funny.
It would be poetic.
Let's see. Didn't quite get a good look at it, but it seems like that was most likely a plain low sugar variant of the nothing. A common rarity. So not that much interesting, although it did look a little bit different.
Yeah, I thought it was a... No, I don't think it was low sugar. It looked a lot more grayscale.
You know what? I might... That could, potentially actually be a new entry. I'm going to see if I can get a photo of that.
Obviously, this is the content that is worth discussing here in Top 8.
Yeah, let's get back to what matters. So TGC is going to find Ice Beam here real soon, and Baja is going to start back Magmore. He just finished plasma processing. Doesn't seem interested in it. Probably, going to start mines from the back here.
So you know this game a whole lot better than I do. Is there any sort of obvious routing calls to make here when you're trying to hunt for Phazon, or do you need to make some gambles?
The obvious idea is to just get all of your artifacts to get the hint, but that is sadly not the case this time. What's worse is that typical routing through mines coming from PPC incentivizes you to do lower mines first, since it loops back to PPC.
Yeah.
So you can just start upper mines from there, but at that point you're orphaning PMT, which is a really bad punishing crawl back if you don't find Phazon. So honestly, I don't know at this point. I would say honestly, upper mines might actually just be a better play, hoping that you find Phazon there, and you will pretty much only get punished if Phazon is actually in lower mines.
Yeah. But you think that mines is definitely the play then?
It's hard to say at this point. Knowing Randovania, I would definitely be willing to call a Phazon suit in mines. That is statistically the most likely area that it is. But at this point, I think it either has to be Frigate / Lycro, Far Chozo, or Mines, and Mines is the most checks. So
those supers in Alcove haven't paid off yet, have they?
Now you say that, no, not really.
So it could possibly be Biohazard?
If it's Biohazard, that would be funny. Just anything in Frigate.
I mean, yeah, if it's in Frigate, that would be a legitimate advantage to TGC, but...
I guess it depends on what TGC
there it
wants
is.
to do. Okay, well, never mind. I mean,
so massive lead for Baja right now.
Boring.
Undeniable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baja's go mode it. 37-45.
Yeah. Anticlimactic Phazon suit. You love to see it. Yep. So that is go mode. Just start lower mines here. Nice instant morph.
So TGC's got a mountain to climb. Not impossible. He is skilled enough to make up the time, but just that space jump was such a huge setback to leave that behind for several minutes.
That was Ice Spreader in Central Dynamo.
And he's not even picking it up. Come on.
I could save you precious seconds on Exo. Also,
we have seen Ice Spreader decide a race.
Yeah. Not only that, it was with these same runners.
In this very series. Ice spreader decided to race. I can't believe you would disrespect it like that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, TGC, I don't really see him gaining any leeway at this point. The best thing that could happen is, I don't know, he gets Elder Chamber first and then just routes through Upper Mines and just skips every single check that's not phase on suit.
Yeah.
But that is statistically unlikely and irresponsible at this point, honestly.
And I mean, there's opportunity for time save on the bosses, but not that much. It's tough.
Okay. Artifact number 2. All access. So it looks like at this point TGC is just kind of taking the same route as Baja is.
Yeah.
Well, okay, now that I think about it, TGC actually isn't that far behind. He's only probably 10
It's
minutes.
No.
No, not 10.
No.
Like 5, I guess. But
Yeah, it's no more than 5 minutes of advantage, but that's still a lot.
if he makes the gamble for the Phazon suit being in lower mines, that could help him. And then at that point, he would just have to simply execute better.
But it's pretty much his only shot. If he doesn't go to lower mines first, I think that decides it.
Mm-hmm.
Got the artifact in TMT.
No damage run today.
So is this 3 vanilla artifacts this seed?
TMT, Chosen Ice Temple, Elder Chamber, yeah.
Wow. And yeah, chat pointed out, despite the pretty brutal artifacts, this has been a really quick seed. I suppose the starting items make a big difference there. Starting with as many resources as they did speeds things up tremendously.
Yeah, starting with 2 beams and one of them being plasma just, makes seeds get done so much faster.
And not only that, I suppose it actually made the advantage from Space Jump a little bit exaggerated, since there are fewer opportunities to find something to make up that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say this is a fairly linear seed.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, kind of disappointing to see, but oh well. Rando's
heavily dependent on early game routing in this preset, I think.
Yeah, honestly, that's the worst part about races. Sometimes something you do early it just carries with you throughout the entire race. I can certainly say that has been a victim in my races.
So into OP here.
Also, now that I saw it on TGC's end, I think that was thermal in... Oh wait, no it wasn't. I'm trolling, that was nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have picked up thermal if he saw it there.
Now hear me out. TGC somehow finds thermal before Baja, and Baja gets pool skipped like enough times for TGC to make up in the spare round.
Maybe. Did you see farming for a drop here, I think?
Yeah. So you need a PB to get through here, obviously. The pirate troopers in Workstation are actually intended to give you PB drops, but the generator that gens the pickups is actually broken, so they will never drop power bombs. You can get a very small shot through the collision
Nice.
to hit that.
There he goes.
Yeah. That is a guaranteed drop, so. Now, will TGC come back up for the second? It's a common strategy to just take the elevator back up to workstation to get that other PB. Or just gamble on one of the crates having a PB and PPC. But yes, that was also a very clean one cycle. Artifact Wild.
Do you think that, like, in lore, Samus just makes that pose because she knows it looks cool?
That would be really funny if she did. I mean, I'm sure she's, like, all by herself, you know, at, like, almost every game. So I'm pretty sure that she engages in some of the funnies just for her own amusement. Eventually.
I'm glad that she thinks that herself being her own audience is still worth catering to, you know? That's a good attitude to have.
Gotta keep your head on straight. This is quite a... honestly, I don't know how Samus would feel throughout the entirety of Metroid Prime if she ever gets, like, scared or nervous. But that would definitely help out the... keep your mental health in check. And also, it seems that TGC is going to get Elite Control access first, but it's common play to actually just get that and turn around and head back to Vent Shaft.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a loss, but it isn't totally out of the question.
Also, nice high five there. When is Randovania, but we can see each other in game? So we can actually see high fives in the same screen.
No. Next question, please.
Okay.
Ooh.
So TGC
this is not
looks
a
like
good sign.
TGC is going to commit to Upper Mines and is now going to find Phase 1 suit.
I think that has got to decide it.
Yeah. The checks in Upper Mines are very slow. Honestly, kind of slower than Lower Mines, now that I think about it.
Yeah, but you don't want to orphan PMT, so it's hard to blame him. Just wasn't the right choice here. Sometimes that's the way that she goes. Nice thing about the best of 3 format is it does minimize the impact of getting randoed.
I don't believe we really saw any cases of those in the previous 2 races.
Yeah.
Those were actually, like, really good just execution battles, which we love to see.
But this one, I definitely think the early game routing is so critical in week 4 preset, and just the small misstep of skipping those boots. Huge setback, and didn't have many opportunities since. I don't think really any opportunities to make it up.
Yeah. I guess... no, now that I think about it, no, there was, like, no real opportunity for anything wacky. I guess maybe you could have just gone through labs first pass right after, like, starting the seed and got an ice beam. No, you would need boosts to get through that NSJ. Can't even really do an NSJ without some task work, I believe.
Yeah, I just don't think there was anywhere. The glimmer of hope was phase on, but it ended up being in the perfect spot for Baja. And at that point, you do. Even if, because really, even if he weren't making this Upper Mines play, even if he'd gone down to Vent Shaft right away, spoken to Mr. Clean, there would still be several minutes of advantage just from those space jump boots.
Mm. Yeah, just being able to get boost to first pass was really nice, and just shaved a ton of time off of Baja.
Yeah.
I like the haphazard attempt to check any chamber there, but it didn't load in time, so we don't get to see it.
Looking forward to that being thermal.
I guess, yes, thermal is still in play. That will likely have no impact whatsoever.
Yeah. It's too late for thermal to make the difference.
Still agree that this would be a close race. I would be willing to say that TGC, if everything goes according to plan, TGC will probably just be finishing Ridley when Baja finishes. Although he is bleeding a lot of time.
It's going to depend on when he finds Phazon.
He could probably even dig himself deeper and check life growth from here.
Yeah. You know, he might be so opposed to orphaning PMT that he like tries to do plant or something. But
I don't think he would go
I
that
doubt.
far.
That I doubt, but it's not impossible.
Going out of your way to fight a boss is a very punishing play if it's not correct.
Yeah. But when you're getting desperate...
I mean, without all the artifacts, there's still, like, 3 checks down in lower mines. Or I guess 4, including the check, that could potentially be Phazon.
Yeah, I hope that we see him go there. It certainly makes some of the most sense to just go for lower mines. It's at least going to get main quarry here.
Alrighty. Baja's all artifacts in hand and is on his way to Ridley.
Yeah, this has been a lightning quick seed for Baja here.
And I'd also like to point out the fact that we still didn't fight the boss that we started in.
Yeah, a little disappointing. We're definitely not going to fight that boss.
Yeah. Very kind of unfortunate.
There is... It can't be anything. It can be Wave Buster. Like...
Yeah, that is like the only thing unaccounted for at this point. And thermal, but thermal would block it.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that Echoes has over Metroid or Prime 1 is that pretty much everything is logically required to beat Metroid Prime. Like the game will always hard require all of the visors logically since we keep invisible objects off in the settings to make logic more readable. So we never get to see funny stuff like visors locking themselves. But in Echoes, we see that all the time.
I don't know if we're going to see Ridley on TGC's side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he went for life growth. Yeah, I don't think at this point.
That's tough. Like, it's not like this is the wrong play. It just is.
Yeah. The classic.
It's not a bad play, it's just the wrong play.
Mm-hmm.
What can you do? Nonetheless, this has been a killer series.
Yeah, those first 2 races, I think, more than make up for this, honestly.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, I am still in agreement that the first set of this series was the best race ever. Honestly,
I'm still partial to Diggle versus Cosmo.
Diggle versus Cosmo is also really good. That one tells a story, honestly.
Yeah.
And then obviously we also have Jeff versus Inner Slice week 1. That was also a very big upset that we enjoy seeing. We love seeing upsets. Those are the big 3 that come to mind in this tournament. I unfortunately have not participated in the previous tournament, so I would not know the stories behind those.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that race, SSJ, that's true. That was also a really funny race. Granted, that was just because of cursed settings, though. So I slightly invalidate it. But that was funny nonetheless.
Ridley down, heading into Impact Crater. Do you think he scans the Phazon suit hint?
Probably not. Yep, no scan, unfortunately.
Where's the content? Baja, come on! Alrighty.
Yep.
Turning around, gonna see one final EXO for this series.
Mm-hmm. You know, if you have enjoyed what you've seen here, make sure to check out the Prime Rando server, as well as the SpeedGaming schedule for upcoming matches.
Yeah, this is just about the end of round 1 of top 8, correct?
I believe this actually is the last race. Let me pull up this bracket. Yes, this is the last race. So, scheduling for next round will be happening here soon. So, please look forward to that. The current matchups that we'll be seeing is Frostbite versus Cosmonaut. That'll be a really good race. As well as Bash Prime, and if everything goes according to plan, he will be facing BajaBlood.
Yeah, so Bash beat Diggle.
Yeah, that was another major upset. Diggle going undefeated and then going 2-0 in top 8, which is
that's a big shakeup in the bracket. So Bash into the semifinals here, taking out the undefeated champion of the Swiss stage.
Yeah.
And that's who these guys are fighting to get their chance against.
I don't remember what Adam put for his bracket, but I'm pretty sure he did say a few 2-0 things. Although I do think he put his money on Diggle. The money that he, fictional money, Monopoly money. I don't think there was actually any gambling involved in this tournament. I do believe he had Baja winning though. There's another one. But yeah, this is the playing field is starting to even out a lot more. Frostbite and Cosmo, I definitely would say, are very close in terms of skill level. I do believe they both actually have any percent experience. So,
okay. Yeah, I'm not very familiar with Frostbite. I know they're an excellent player, but of the names in top 8, they were the least familiar to me personally.
I know that he participated in both CGC and the standalone Echoes tournament.
Okay.
This year he was CGC partners with Lucarius, and he is also quite an accomplished runner. So, yeah, they have the skills to back it up. And of course, don't count out the one and only Bash Prime.
Yeah, Bash.
Yeah.
He's been exceeding his own expectations for this tournament, I think, but has been doing as well as I think anyone else has expected him to.
Yeah. I know Bash is probably like the most, I would say, popular out of all of the rando runners, at least to my inexperienced knowledge with everyone. But so I would be willing to say that he's the crowd favorite, but that's probably just that's a lot of assumptions on my part, so I will not say that. But yeah, he's shown he's gone quite far. He was what was it 4-2, I believe. He's one of the few 4-2s that made it into top 8.
Yeah, he barely made it into top 8. Was the 8th seed. So
yeah,
one of the 4-2s who just had the better tie-breaking score made it in.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact: me and Bash had the exact same score. He only made 8 because he was a higher seed than me.
Really?
Yeah, we had the same amount of Buchholz and tiebreaker points, but he was higher seeded, so he made it in, which was
That's remarkable.
Yeah, I asked Reggie about if we could actually do a real tiebreaker match, but that was against tournament rules, so
yeah,
that's understandable. But, yeah.
I seriously doubt that such an outcome was expected.
Yeah, it's okay. I am all well and good. Don't worry. I am satisfied with my performance. I was not expecting to actually even touch top 8 this tournament. So
yeah, I mean, you tied for top 8. You just didn't get to play.
I'll take that.
That's still a fantastic outcome. Well, at least TGC getting a 3rd artifact at the end of this race.
Mm-hmm.
Picking up Elder Chamber as Baja drops down into the Essence fight.
Let's see if TGC can find Thermal before Baja finishes.
Mm-hmm. So if Baja gets 18 quintillion pool skips, then TGC might have a chance.
Statistically possible. Also, I think, what was that in Upper Furnace?
I did not catch it.
Excellence. Thank you, bro. Yeah. Not having all the visors for Essence is rough sometimes. You can still see the scan node of Essence when you pull it up, but Essence moves so quickly that a single movement will make him disappear from your field of view. So you have to just be really good at knowing where he spawns.
Yeah, this has been a great fight so far, from what I can tell. Oh. This is a best of 3. This is also game 3 of the series. So, if Baja wins it here, which is looking fairly likely, that is the end of the series. Baja will win it 2-1.
Yep. And there it is. GG's.
GG's. The series has ended.
And with
congratulations to Green.
Yep, it looks like Green was the victor after all. So, Green believers, I don't know, give yourself a round of applause. Orange enjoyers are in shambles right now, unfortunately. But we will see them both here literally right now. Right now. And now. Nope. Okay. They're probably conversing in setup, honestly.
They're coming. Yeah, forfeit from TGC makes perfect sense.
And now, they're there. Okay.
Hello.
Congratulations,
Hey,
Baja.
guys.
Thank you.
Well fought on both parts. You guys, this was a tremendous series.
Yeah, I feel bad for TGC on this one because I was playing pretty poorly, but just kind of pulled a god route out of my head.
There,
Mhm.
really, it was the space jump that just created a huge advantage early on. And then, of course, phase on suit being where it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up in a really awkward situation at the beginning of the game where I decided to go up the root cave direction.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I got to the transport tunnel and I noticed it wasn't missile launcher, I was like, either I've left missile launcher in storage cavern or I've left space jump.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a 50-50. It could have been even further because I think you can actually go through Lava Lake up into Chozo and do come out at the top of Chozo. So I continued on, and it wasn't until I found missile launcher and I was like, well, I think I know where I've left space jump, so I had to backtrack all the way for it.
Yeah. And then, of
That's
course, boost
true.
in Tower of Light just added insult to injury there. Only compounded the problems.
I think early Chozo was in logic without missiles as well.
It
Yeah.
was if you go up Lava Lake.
Yeah.
But because I chose to go Root Cave, I went through Root Cave up to landing site into Chozo, and then ended up going back down for space jump.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Missile launcher was training chamber access. I do remember
Oh,
that.
gross.
Yeah,
It was so bad.
yeah. So as soon as I found that, I knew I've left space jump behind.
Oh, and
That-
training chamber was main PBs.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So once I saw the main power bomb, so I knew roughly where things slotted in logically because I had sight of that.
That's honestly a good observation on your part about the missile launcher. I didn't think about that. You logically can't get through Root Cave until launcher.
Yeah.
So
But no, they going into reverse mines, and then I was like, which way do I gamble this? Like, I did feel bad for the way I routed it, but I felt I wasn't feeling the lower mines because I really didn't like the idea of going all the way through that and then not coming out with phase on and having to double back anyway.
yeah, that was all like very understandable, but Baja just decided to bite the bullet and
Yeah.
was immediately rewarded in bench shift. So
Yeah, it's tough because I didn't feel great about that decision either. But it's like our warp to start is so bad
Yeah.
that like you don't want to have to warp to start ever.
There was no clear good decision there, and there was only
Yeah.
the one that ended up being right.
I felt decent about it being in mines just because I hadn't found main PBs yet, so I assumed they were locked by all the stuff that I picked up most recently. So the ice or the spider and the PBs. But it could have been Life Grove too. That would have been pretty bad for me.
Yeah, that's what. So
Yeah.
I ended up doing the upper mines loop because I felt it was going to be in mines as well. But once I'd done the upper mines loop, I was like, well, I know PBs are on logic because I've seen them and I have all the tools. So I went into Life Grove and I was like, well, now that I'm in Life Grove, I may as well go get the artifact that is ahead. And then that's where you finished up. Because I was on my way back into mines.
Oh, we weren't getting thermal visor.
yeah, I
Where was
just
it?
saw that.
Sun chamber.
Oh, yeah, no. But no, GG's.
Yeah, GG's.
I definitely think that this week 4 preset can be pretty punishing with the early game routing in particular. Especially having started with so many items, there are far fewer opportunities to make up deficits that are gained early on.
I was worried just at the very start. Like I missed Courtyard. I'm like, shoot, even if that was just like a missile, I could have done Canyon. And so I'm like leaving all this stuff behind where it's like if one thing shows up and puts those in logic, it's going to be a pain to go back for them.
Yeah.
So luckily I didn't get punished for just pushing on and eventually cleaning it up a lot later.
Yeah, I did save warp and ended up getting Courtyard the second time, but that was when I was going back for my space jump.
Got it. Yeah.
And I was really annoyed with myself because after I got space jump, I was like, right, I'm going to go do all this. I forgot to check what Triclops pit was. In the back of my mind, I was like, I think I left something in Triclops pit. But it was never good to reroute.
Oh man, we didn't even notice that you didn't get that. That's
As soon as I got Space Jump, I just powered on through Lava Lake and went up that way. I didn't even check what Triclops pit was.
Oh, that's funny. I don't remember it being anything of consequence.
Yeah.
Good. That makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, it was initial, I think.
We were thinking of a potential damage run for PMT. This seemed like a good. If Phazon was actually in a really bad,
There
location,
wasn't enough E-tanks for it. Like,
Yeah,
not that
we-
I saw.
we didn't. Yeah, we didn't end up finding enough, but it was possible. But unfortunately,
I think, to be perfectly honest, I think you actually need somewhere around like 12 E-tanks, which is not something you're really going to go out your way getting.
yeah, we were talking about it with both Varia and Grav. That'll get you around 11 E-tanks to make it feasible.
Yeah.
Not something you
Yeah.
want to have to do. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's not something I would ever consider. Like, if we had some sort of wacky settings where we had an abundance of energy, then I would go, oh yeah, sure, let's go for it. But no, not a chance. Running around on 4 E-tanks, oh well, I've got 7 now, but 4 E-tanks originally, I was like, nope, no thank you.
Nope. Not a chance.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes the quarterfinals.
Yeah. Make sure to look forward to what we got coming up. Make sure to follow our runners. They have given us like an amazing series here, as you've seen.
Yeah, this certainly was the best series of the tournament thus far. Having both those first 2 games was just unbelievable.
I've never played a race as close as that game one was. That was absolutely insane.
That was nuts.
My goodness. And so,
As well as follow our commentators, follow our trackers, follow Dunk. They've made major contributions to the Randovania as a whole. Dunkathan is an actual Randovania core dev, so
yeah,
he made all this possible. He
Wow.
made this race quote unquote possible.
wow. I don't know about this one.
I'm giving you credit. You should take it.
I made the last one possible. I'm the one who added Doorlock Rando, and that was needed for week 5. I don't know about this one, but yeah, if anyone is inspired by this, wants to play some Prime Rando, do check out Randovania. I'm obviously a little bit biased, but I think it's a phenomenal program. It's got Prime Rando, Echoes Rando, Dread Rando, Cave Story Rando, My Pride and Joy, and more games are being worked on as we speak. So
Indeed.
there's lots to do if you like any of those games for randomization.
Yeah, and if not, make sure to stick around for the semifinals, which will be happening real soon here. So
Yeah.
There are some
I don't know who to root
wicked
for now.
matchups.
I
Do
know
I
we
root
moved
for
on from
Bash kicking Baja, or do I root for Baja kicking Bash?
we moved from orange versus green to Rocks and Head. TBZ Bash and I race Pokemon Random all the time, so
Okay.
we have a fun history of all racing each other. It's kind of a fun tournament path for me.
yeah, so we got Bash Prime and the winner of this race, BajaBlood, will be moving on to the semifinals. We've seen them face off, as well as we already mentioned Frostbite and Cosmonaut. Two
That's
very
gonna be
well-skilled
such a good
players.
series.
Mm-hmm. The disparity is a little interesting in the semifinals. On the upper half of semis, you have 8th place from Swiss versus 5th place from Swiss. And on the lower half, you have 2nd place and 3rd place. So
yeah,
one half is the lowest possible pair of seeds, and one half is the highest possible.
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen Frost and Cosmo compete at all against each other. So, although that's technically not true. They were opponents in CGC.
Okay.
Cosmo and Cestrion versus Frostbite and Lucarius. And Frostbite and Lucarius were the only teams to overtake Cosmo and Cestrion in CGC.
Ooh.
So that's
shaping up to be a good series then.
Yeah, so make sure to check that out, as well as Bash and Baja. And yeah, those will be coming up soon. No schedule for those yet, but should be happening here soon. So stay tuned.
With that, do our racers have any final words?
I'm free. I'm free.
I was in the race time. I'm like, well, I either get revenge or I get freedom. You can only have one. So revenge it was. But no, GG's TGC, great series. Thanks to all our volunteers for helping us put this on. Much appreciated.
Take notes, everyone in chat. Vengeance imprisons you. Set yourself free.
I didn't know there was a moral to this race.
No, the moral to this race is that green is better than orange.
True.
Nah. Don't go blaspheming. Nah.
I can only speak to the results.
Numbers
This is
don't
going to
lie.
look bad on me when it comes to CGC.
I'll just play both games. Don't worry, TGC.
That's fine. I get freedom from that then.
That is possible now, so yeah.
Well, with that, I think it's about time for us to sign off here.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks again to everyone involved, especially our trackers. Need to thank them again. It's been a pleasure. This has been a wonderful series. I'm very, very thankful I had the opportunity to commentate 2 of its races. I'm looking forward to the rest of top 8.
As am I. And yeah, with that, we'll see you all next mission.
Bye-bye.
Later.